Have you ever heard people say that you should dress for success? What happens if you don't? This is what our group had in mind when designing our expectation violation theory experiment. We wanted to see what would happen when the expectation to dress appropriately for your setting was broken. Our group decided that in order to break the social norm of dressing appropriately, we were going to head to the YVC gym, but in a suit. The social norm at a gym is for people to be wearing shorts, a t-shirt, maybe a tank top. But overall, athletic wear is expected, not a suit.
For our experiment, we dressed in nice clothes and went to lift some weights. Quinn dressed up in a suit and entered the gym where Candy and James were positioned discreetly to observe the people's reactions when they saw the expectation being violated. We had 4 different stations of weightlifting to make sure that we would cover the whole gym. First, Quentin ran on the treadmill in the cardio section of the gym. He then walked towards the back of the gym and did some bicep curls. Upon completion of those, he began doing box jumps in the same room. And finally, he went to the open gym area and did some kettlebell squats. Once we got enough reactions, we exited the gym. We ran 2 tests, one at about 12 and second at 1:30 on May 8th.
After designing our experiment, we hypothesized about what the results would look like. We came up with a primary hypothesis that was consistent with the EVT theory. We predicted that in response to our negative expectancy violation, it would decrease our attraction to the violator. We thought that people's reactions would lean negatively and that people would appear confused. Our secondary hypothesis was that groups of people would have larger visible reactions and react more positively than a lone individual who would try and ignore the issue, mind their own business, and just be primarily confused.
As we ran our tests, we classified people's reactions into 2 categories, positive and negative. We considered the positive reactions to be things like the person would find it humorous and laugh, people would smile or even say things to me. On the other hand, we classified things like people staring, appearing confused, or trying to ignore me as negative reactions. Based on our observations, 8 reactions were positive and 7 were negative. We had more positive reactions than negative reactions while testing our hypothesis. Some examples of individuals' reactions include people giggling or shaking their head from across the gym, people glancing over and then trying to ignore me, and one guy started laughing before coming up to me and saying, "Really, bro? Even in a suit?" To which I responded, "Yeah, gotta get my workout in." The guy then stepped away and very obviously recorded me. While in the gym, we came across 2 groups of 2 people lifting together. In both cases, the group reacted much more visibly and positively than the majority of our individuals. The first group of 2 girls had been laughing at the suit and recording me lifting. As I walked out, they both threw up their hands in a "what are you doing" gesture, and then waved at me as I left the gym. The second group, a male and female, looked at me and laughed and talked amongst themselves. Alright, James, did these results surprise you?
Yeah, so they were pretty surprising. Our hypothesis that people were going to react negatively ended up being wrong. So a lot of people, we expected them to be negative, and after they were confused, a lot of people just ignored us, or the few verbal comments that we did get were mostly just positive or casual. No one got angry or thought it was really weird.
Yeah. Alright, so what about our secondary hypothesis?
As far as our second hypothesis goes, that was proven to be correct. That is, people that were in groups, they tended to react more verbally and visibly. If you recall, the couple that was lifting weights, how they were giggling and looking at you.
Yeah.
While the other people that were more like by themselves, individually, they just kept to themselves and kind of ignored you.
Yeah.
Alright, so Quinn, why is this information important?
So I thought like the most important thing about this was that the dress for success notion isn't all that valuable. Although there were negative reactions, there are more positive ones. So as much as people think that they need to dress correctly for the situation, it didn't seem like that was entirely accurate. Especially being the one in the suit lifting weights, I felt like all eyes were on me and they were all negative reactions. People were making fun of me. But what you guys observed was that wasn't actually happening. Most people either thought it was comical or didn't even really care. So I think it kind of shows that a little bit of that you need to dress for success isn't actually accurate.